Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is the 24th of January, I think, so it's actually like my birthday weekend. My birthday was on Thursday, so we just did like something at home. Anyway, this video is just going to be spending the weekend with me, like doing stuff that I love because it was my birthday. So we're going to go into London today. We're going to go to the Piccadilly Waterstones, which is my favourite one. Actually, no, Gower Street is my favourite one, which we're also going to, but Piccadilly is the biggest one, so it's always good to go there. And then we are going to go to a rugby game, and then I'm going out tonight with my friends, and then tomorrow I'll be buying a new phone. So it's kind of just like a simple weekend, but it's going to be good. I have not really filmed very much, and this is definitely a bit of a flop vlog, but I bought a new phone today and I forgot that obviously my mic has a different USB like plug for the phone because it's a different phone and it has a different plug. So I'm not using my mic right now, but I'm pretty sure you guys can hear me well. So that is really good, and I'm hoping that this like relays into when I'm editing it as well, and it's not just a good audio on my phone. But if that's the case, it's amazing because it's definitely hard to remember to film when I also have to remember the mic. I've got a new phone, camera's definitely better. Hopefully audio's all good as well. Other than that, I thought I could just kind of recap over what happened. So obviously I did go into London yesterday, you saw that. And then we went to the rugby. The rugby was absolutely horrendously bad. I did end up reading some of the Housemaid's Secret on my Kindle whilst we were watching the game. But I wanted to just quickly loop back to going to Waterstones in London because I did buy some books, and then I also found a few books that I wanted to like have on my radar as well. So I wanted to talk about those. I'm going to talk about those tomorrow though, because as you can tell, lighting's really dark. So in the Waterstones Piccadilly, which is like the really big one, I found a few books that like kind of caught my interest. And I feel like at the moment quite a few paperbacks are coming out of like ones that have been hardback. So that was cool. And one of those books is Home Seeking. This has been in hardback and I haven't bought it. It's a book by Carissa Chan. It's kind of, I think it's going to be like literary romance fiction kind of vibe. So I think it's over a long period of time, and they were presumably friends as children, and then kind of developed this connection. And then I think I'm pretty sure, yeah, based in the past. So it's also a bit of historical fiction, and it's about the male main character gets enlisted in like the army or the military and how that affects their relationship. And I think they like come back together at the end and like share what happened to them. And I'm just interested in this one because I think there's going to be some stuff. Obviously, it's nice to learn about these things. I don't know if it's a true story, but it's based on things that did happen. And I kind of have a connection to things that might be brought up in this, just like on my own family history. So I'm intrigued to see it, and I think it's going to be a really gut-wrenching story. So I'm quite excited. Then we went to Foyles, which is in like Soho area, kind of going up to Tottenham Court Road. The first one is Rose House. I just saw this. It's obviously very thin, and I thought, oh, my dad would like that. And I think it's just like it's a haunted house, but it's AI or something like that. Just sounds really interesting, and it's very short. And I thought my dad would like it, and he did want to read it, so I got that one. And then I finally got The Wedding People. This one has been on my TBR for a while. I wanted to read it, and I said to my mum when I found Rose House, "Oh, if you see some books that maybe you might want to get, let me know because I might get this one." And then she saw this and was like, "Oh, that sounds kind of good." And I was like, "Oh, I actually really want that one. I just kind of been putting off buying it." So I got it. And this is just like a literary fiction women's fiction, I feel like. After getting back from rugby, I went out and saw a couple of my friends, which was nice. We went to a pub and just had some drinks. That was really nice. I had a really good pizza as well in the pub, and they got me some really pretty flowers. You can actually see here, they both got me tulips, so it worked out perfectly because I just added them into the same vase. And that was really nice. I just didn't film. And then this morning, I went to Pilates because it's Sunday morning, and then obviously I bought my phone. So that was what I did. I had yo sushi for lunch, didn't film that either. But that's honestly all of that time frame. I had this new phone and I hadn't finished uploading all the apps, so I didn't want to mess around with filming stuff. And then I come home, not really done much. I've been trying to find a good phone case, as I said. Now it's coming to the end of the day, I might do a bit of reading. I haven't read much this month at all. I've only finished 2 books. I think I could finish a third one, maybe a fourth. I'm not too sure, but it hasn't been a good reading month. As I said at the beginning of the video, I have had some family things happen, so I just haven't really been in the mood for reading. And especially because one of the books I was reading at the time was My Friends by Frederick Bachman. At the beginning of that book, something happens, and as soon as it happened, I was like, I don't know if I want to continue this, but I obviously did because I did finish that one. I also finished All In, but I am going to do a monthly wrap up if I finish a few more books, so we'll see. Okay guys, so as promised, I am back. It is Monday, and I just wanted to talk about the books that I saw in the Waterstones and foils that I just they're on my radar. They're definitely not books that I am keen to read right now, and I'm not going to go out and buy them. If any of you have read these books, definitely let me know if they were any good. And the first one was called Are You Awake? This one caught my eye because the cover kind of reminded me of Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellows, which I haven't read yet, but I did read Blue Sisters and I quite enjoyed that. The blurb doesn't really give much away, but it seems to be about a woman who's been married for a decent amount of time, and then something comes out about her husband. She finds out a secret that he's been keeping, and then it follows that. So it does feel quite just literary fiction, day in the life kind of book, which I'm definitely getting more into as I get older. And the format as well seems to be similar to I Who Have Never Known Men, which I really love that book, as in there's not really chapters, there's just paragraphs. Then Graceless Heart. This was the first book I saw when I went into the Piccadilly Waterstones. Honestly, just the cover is gorgeous, but the book also sounds really interesting. It's set in Renaissance Italy. That alone is really interesting to me. Obviously, Italy is a beautiful country with amazing culture as well. I've been to Italy multiple times, so I can definitely picture that kind of thing. I've been in the cities as well and in the countryside, so I definitely have a relatively well-rounded view of Italy, so I feel like it will be a good book just in that sense. But it also seems to be following a similar story to Phantasma, where she is going into a competition in a house to save her brother, but then she figures out that she has some magic powers and the town doesn't allow magic, so that's where it's a bit different. But yeah, it sounds pretty similar, and I love Phantasma. I'm pretty sure it's a fantasy romance, so there's some romance in there as well. And yeah, honestly, it just sounds very up my alley. And then the other book that really caught my eye was House of Monstrous Women, I think was what it was called. This one, the cover caught my eye. It was also just in a section that my dad was looking at, and then I kind of just looked at it as well. Honestly, kind of similar to the other one. It's about a game in a house, and I think she gets invited by a childhood friend. I'm presuming maybe she hasn't talked to that friend much, and that friend also was rumoured to be a witch. So that is already kind of interesting. I love witch stuff, but instead of being a fantasy, it's a gothic horror. So I'm definitely intrigued by that. I like gothic books a lot. Horror, I'm definitely in the middle with. I have read another gothic horror, which was Mexican Gothic, and that was alright, but it wasn't completely my cup of tea. So yeah, I'm just kind of intrigued in that sense. We'll see if I ever get around to reading that one. But yeah, I did find a few books. My mum also found some books, which was amazing because she definitely finds it harder now that she's read a lot of books to find ones that she actually will read or has any interest in reading. I did have a really nice weekend. Obviously I'm back at work today, which is a bit sad. I just love book shopping and book browsing, and also just having food and drinks that I really love.
that's just like my perfect weekend, to be honest. That was spending my birthday weekend with me. I hope you somewhat enjoyed this. I'm guessing it's going to be quite short. I hope you can hear me now because obviously I don't have my mic anymore. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. It'll probably be a wrap up or TBR or like both of those mixed together. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.